Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, in this fifth audio session, I have taken the topic of Kabir Sahab, one bhajan, Zara Halke Gaadi Hanko, Mere Ram Gaadi Wale. I have taken this particular bhajan because, because of its true deep meaning. It appears that this bhajan was written by Kabir Sahab not long after his true awakening. Here, awakening, what is meant by awakening? When you awaken to Maya, the illusion around you, the whole thing, whole perspective changes. So this bhajan has beautifully captured that perspective. So I will start with the bhajan. First I will recite the bhajan in Hindi he has written. Then I will try to explain what he actually meant by this. So here we go. धीरे धीरे रे मना धीरे सब कुछ होए माली सींचे सो घड़ा ऋतु आवे फल होए. So what does Kabir Sahab want to say here? Basically it says everything is done on its own pace. You just can't hasten the process of happening. In this particular verses, the process is talking about is spiritual progress. Everything will be done on its own. Neither you can fasten it, neither you can make it slow. At the right time only, things will happen on its own. So, what actually he meant in this is that we all are living in this Maya Jal. Every human being who is born on this earthly plane is engulfed by Maya right from the day of birth and right till death. The whole life journey is a journey of a variable in this Maya. So in this journey of life, at some point awakening can happen. So that awakening cannot be achieved by putting more efforts from our side, because whatever has to happen has already happened. So when we live life in this Maya, changes on our belief systems are slow. Whatever spiritual progress we make is smooth, slow and steady. You can't expect by putting more effort to get the results within few days or within few hours. It takes time. It takes time to mold the mind according to our new spiritual beliefs, which are making as per the plan. So no matter how much effort we put, tree will bear fruit in its season only. Similarly, if we put much more effort to fasten our spiritual progress, it will go at a pace designated by Lord only. There are no sudden knee-jerk changes in spiritual life. In fact, there are certain events which we call spiritual emergencies, where such things can happen, where such sudden changes in spiritual beliefs comes, but those are not very stable for the mind. things can go anyway. So proper way to progress on spiritual path is to go slow and steady, and don't expect anything that something will happen very soon. Let it go on its own. So next verses are जरा हल्के गाड़ी हांको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले, जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हांको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले. Now this is very deep meaning verses. People who are awakened to Maya can relate to it. Here Gaadi means the vehicle, and it is being guided by Ram. So what exactly it means? The vehicle is self, which is being guided by Lord in the ocean of Maya. So when you get awakened, you see your life from this perspective. You are not being driven by Maya anymore. You are being driven by will of Lord. So before awakening, you were being driven by Maya through the agency of mind. Continuously thoughts are coming into our mind and we are acting upon them. So, but we are not getting connected to the true source. Mind keeps on thinking, and we keep on doing action after action after action. So this way Maya operates. And here Kabir Sahib says that, "Oh Lord, now you are my driver. Don't make sudden changes in my life. Make it slow, so that I can grasp the true essence of life. So please do it slow and steady." अरे गाड़ी मारी रंग रंगीली, पहिया है लाल गुलाल, अरे हांकन वाली छैल छबीली, देखन वाला राम. So here he says, this life is full of ups and downs. Both happiness and grief comes in this life. So this life is full of all type of colors, happiness, sadness, and in between all type of emotions comes here. So this whole thing is being part of Maya. Here Chalchbilli is basically meant that only. Maya is driving our life with all the ups and downs in our life. But as he says, Hankan wali Chalchbilli dekhan wala Ram. But still it's under the supervision of Lord, the Supreme God. So whatever is happening to ourself through the agency of mind is still under the supervision of Lord. If Lord ever wants to make a change, He can make it. So it's not like that if we are being driven by Maya, Lord can't do anything. It still is part of the totality. It still can be changed by the will of Lord. Next, गाड़ी अटकी रेत में मजल पड़ी है दूर, धर्मी धर्मी पार उतर गए पापी चकनाचूर. Here he basically means obstacles are sure to come in this life. Both worldly obstacles as well as spiritual obstacles. They will definitely come. So what to do when such obstacles come in our life? We should not forget our true aim. Whether we are happy, whether we are sad, or whatever, in whatever position life has put us, our ultimate aim should not be forgotten. So what is our ultimate aim? It is to get rid of this cycle of birth and death. That is the only aim, true aim of a soul. So whenever we are stuck in some particular obstacle in spiritual life, we should remember the name of the God. He will definitely help us. So dharmi dharmi par utar gaye papi chaknachoor. People with positive virtues are sure to cross the ocean of life. People with noble intentions will definitely do it. But people who are engrossed in negative virtues, are engrossed in negative activities, will not be able to cross the ocean of life. They will certainly drown. Next, अजी देश देश का वैद बुलाया, लाया जड़ी और बूटी, जड़ी बूटी तेरे काम ना आई, ले ले राम के घर की बूटी. So here he says, when end comes near, we do all possible things so that we can live our life, even if it is meant to be extended by 1 minute. We do all the remedies, we do all kind of take medicines just to extend our life. But Kabir says, if you do the Simran of Lord, such deeds are unnecessary. Definitely you will have to take the medicine. Whatever your doctor has prescribed, whatever your physical realm traditions are there. But here he says, medicine of God is ultimate. It's ever liberating and soothes the soul. So in addition to taking physical medications, we should be taking spiritual medicine also, which is ever flowing from the realm of truth. चार जना मिल मथो उठायो, बंधी काठ की घोड़ी. चार जना मिल मथो उठायो, बंधी काठ की घोड़ी, ले जाकर मरघट पे रख दीनी, फूक दीनी जैसे होली. So here he wants to say that when finally death comes and we are ready to leave the body, at that time we realize what a waste of life we have done by not remembering the name of the Lord. At that time we realize the uselessness of arrogance and ego we carried all through our life. Because after our end, even our bodies are in the hand of others. We can't do anything about it. Our last rites are also performed by other people only. So this particular thinking should rather humble us. So while we are living in this life, people say that we have to make career in this thing or that thing. They put target in front of them and say we have to achieve this and that. But they forget the ultimate truth, the death. What to do after death, rather than what to do, what happens after death. Or consequently, same question can be what happened before we born, where we were before we were born, and where we will be after death. And if we keep our thinking on these lines, this physical life target of careers will pale in front of our spiritual target. So ultimately all these activities we are doing in this material life to extend our material life, to get some particular physical goals are useless if we haven't shaped our true spiritual life that goes beyond life and death. Here I don't mean to say that you shouldn't do good activities in your physical life. You shouldn't set targets in your physical life. You should do. Both activities should go on together. Your spiritual life as well as material life. In fact, you will realize that your spiritual life itself is extending help in the material life. Things will start working on very smoothly if you are making progress in spiritual life. So these are integrated thing, not separate thing. Next, अजी बिलख बिलख कर तिरिया रोए बिछड़ गई मेरी जोड़ी, बिलख बिलख कर तिरिया रोए बिछड़ गई मेरी जोड़ी, कहे कबीर सुनो भाई साधो जिन जोड़ी तिन तोड़ी. Here again Kabir Sahib emphasized that everything in our life is ultimately driven by Lord. So we should accept whatever He has ordained for us. But it is easier said than done. Why? Because mind interferes. It keep on interfering. It keep on creating doubts. And those doubts lead to fear. So it's not easy to accept all the events happening in our life in a positive way. And actually that is also one of the goal of a true awakening. When you are awakened, you see the whole game. You will be able to accept whatever is happening in our life as a will of the Lord. So that is, you will be at peace. You won't be at, disturbed or something like that. Say some negative events happen in our life and it disturbs us a lot. It destroys the peace of the mind. But if you have truly awakened, you see the reason behind those events. And once you see the reason behind those events, you will get detached from those events. So in another way, we can say that true awakening is also detachment from worldly events. So if something negative is happening in our life, that is also will of the God. If something positive is happening in our life, that is also will of the God. We should accept both by our heart, by our goodwill, by not being disturbed about it. So this was the Kabir Bhajan I have tried to explain. Hopefully you got the gist of the bhajan. And actually this is not a bhajan which will help you in meditation. It is actually 24/7 hours life you live in physical life. How to really face those events happening in our life. It may help in that area. So that was all it. And I will record another session in a couple of days. Thank you.